So you must have read the title of the video. You should understand that it's about mostly 2016. That's when the Pixel XL actually launched. Now 2016 was a very different time for me personally because I was out and about with my DSLR clicking pictures on, and I used to always shoot on manual mode. So I was that kind of a person. Also, that was the same year. Towards the end, around October, is when I got frustrated with my personal phone, which was the HTC Desire 820. So I was looking out for a new phone to buy for myself. Now, my tech enthusiast college roommate also told me that, why don't you look into this new phone called the Pixel? It's supposed to have a great camera. You're interested in photography, should be perfect for you. So I looked into it a bit and I was researching, and I found out that the Pixel camera does not have any RAW format as of that time, and it does not have any manual mode. Now that was very baffling to me for a camera centric phone, and I just laughed it off and I told my friend that no, not at all. Next thing, when I looked at the price, that's when I got my second shock, and that made me very sure that I didn't want that phone. And the phone that I wanted was actually the Pixel XL in the blue color with the 128GB variant, which costed a staggering 76,000 at launch. So as a third year engineering student, it was out of the question. I definitely could not afford it with whatever pocket money I got or whatever I saved up over the years. So what I ended up buying was a OnePlus 3 for a mere 28,000. Also, I was of the mentality that, smartphone cameras are not made for photography. Here I am today taking a lot of pictures from my smartphone, and I think I kind of owe it to the Pixel line of phones. So hey guys, this is Shreyas and welcome back to another video on my channel. And today we are going to talk about the phone I chose not to buy, which is the Pixel XL 128GB. Just not in my favorite color. But before we move on and I tell you more about this phone and my experience with it today, why don't you drop a like, hit subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you know when I come back to you with another brand new video. So with that said, this is Shreyas and let's check that out. As a lot of people might know that before the Pixel existed, Google was running a line called the Nexus line. But it was a bit different because Google tied up with a lot of manufacturers who produced the phones, and Google was just helping out with the software and providing a stock Android experience. The whole focus of Nexus lineup was that you don't need high-end specs to run Android nicely, smoothly and well enough. But that changed with the Google Pixel, because for the Pixel, at that point in time until the Pixel 4 and the 4 XL, Google targeted the top tier specs in a way and tried to make a point and tried to target the flagship smartphone market with this particular phone. Also, another thing which was interesting is that Google introduced two sizes of their phone, and they had the XL version, but I feel the XL version actually existed for a reason, which was that this phone launched with Android 7.1 and it was the first Android version which had proper support for split screen. So obviously I am a bit nostalgic about this phone because I never got to use it back then, but I can definitely tell you that I would be the happiest even if I spend that amount of money. But that's not all. This video is also about how flagship smartphones developed over time and 5 years down the line how they turned out to be. So I'll be comparing it with my current smartphone, the OnePlus 8 Pro as well. Let's start with the design because even back then in 2016 this was kind of a dated design. It had huge chunky bezels. HTC manufactured this phone, and this phone missed the front firing stereo speakers which HTC was famous for. Although it had two grills on the bottom of the phone, it actually fired sound from only one of the grills. So it was kind of disappointing and dated and dull in terms of design. From even the smartphones that existed back then, this was not something special. Apart from that, if you look at the back, this is not a very special back of this phone, but it did come with a two-tone finish, which was metal on the bottom part and the top part had glass. Glass was probably to give it a distinct look, house the fingerprint sensor and also protect the camera module in my opinion. Now one more thing that is an interesting thing which we do not find in flagships anymore today is the headphone jack. This did come with the headphone jack, but this was the first and only Pixel to come with a headphone jack, as Google went on to drop it off in their Pixel 2. Now on the contrary, if you have to look at my OnePlus 8 Pro, although the footprint remains kind of the same, the screen extends from edge to edge, and we have seen curved screens as well, which my OnePlus 8 Pro does have. If you look at the behind, the materials are made out of complete glass. Not just that, it comes with dual speakers which sound really great and have a stereo effect. Notoriously does miss the headphone jack in this iteration. Also, one more interesting thing is that the number of lenses on the back of these phones today have increased quite substantially compared to the Google Pixel, which still rocks a single lens setup in 2016. Now, one funny design thing which I actually noticed after holding the Pixel is that it kind of is a wedge shape in the side profile. Now, that was very interesting to me, but the only reason I could probably find out for this is that they overall wanted a thin profile, but they made it thicker on the top, obviously because the glass adds to the thickness a bit. Also, it kind of mitigates the problem of a camera bump. If you can see over here, the camera is completely flush to the back of the surface, unlike my OnePlus 8 Pro, which rocks vigorously if you keep it on a flat surface. And next, I want to come to the display. Now, display is a department I feel that this has not been dated out very much, because these were one of the first phones which came with 1440p panels, and that too in such a small size, which makes the pixel density insanely high. Still, a 1440p panel back in 2016, that's something to flex about, definitely. One thing that I do admire, although the screen is smaller given the footprint, is the aspect ratio. The aspect ratio is so good for watching YouTube videos, mostly in 16:9 or 16:10, that you hardly have any black bars on the top of the bottom. Contrary to my OnePlus 8 Pro, which has black bars no matter what I watch, and probably in movies where it's 21:9 is where my OnePlus 8 Pro has the least amount of black bars. Also in the front, we have an interesting design element, which is the LED indicator. Now that is something very few phones today have. Even if they do, it's not very customizable. But on the contrary, today we do have always on display, which is kind of missing on the Pixel XL. Another interesting thing is that today most of the flagship phones have an HDR certified panel, so HDR video is not an issue, and also YouTube allows HDR videos. The phone struggle to run HDR video. I believe it is because of the codec not being supported, although the YouTube app showed the HDR option in the settings. Funny enough, the phone really got warm on the glass part of the back. That's when I thought that okay, it must be some issue from either the codec or the processor not being good enough to process HDR video and display on the screen, because frames on the screen were totally getting frozen, although the video kept on playing and I could only hear the audio go ahead, but the video got stuck after a while at a particular frame. Now obviously that comes to the performance. Now performance in the 4 or 5 years from the launch of this Pixel XL has come a long way. Gaming is way better because this one running the Snapdragon 821 does struggle at times, and the 4GB RAM, given the current scheme of Android, is kind of less for this particular phone. Flagships today have come a long way. This still, for day-to-day performance, does not have a problem. Why does it not have a problem as much? Is because the Pixel experience is very much optimized. Unfortunately, this got its last update back in 2019 with Android 10, which was 4 years of complete support from Google, which is commendable but only belongs to the Pixel lineup. The second best I can only think of is Samsung and OnePlus, who support their phone that much. So on Android 10, I feel that Pixel really runs pretty smooth. There are some hiccups here and there, but I think that the processor is also aged enough for it to blame. But this also proves that investing in a flagship kind of makes sense if you get timely software updates and your hardware is good enough to last you at least for 3 or 4 years. Pixel was one of the cameras which stood out a lot back then. Now it stood out not just because it had a good sensor, but it also had great processing power, and that was done by the Google Neural Core inside, because of which you had excellent HDR photos. It was beating the iPhone 7 back then even with its photos, but in videos it wasn't that great. But either way, if I look at the photos, Google Pixel still holds up. It has an immense amount of detail, lovely amount of contrast with a bit of saturation, just giving the whole scene a slight boost to make it more appealing. I still feel that the pictures coming out of this phone are top notch, and I'm really a fan of it. The only place where I feel it falls behind, the amount of time it takes to process, because the processors have gotten really better today and the image signal pipeline is really optimized. Not just that, Pixel XL with updates further down the line actually got night sight as well. Night sight takes a hell lot of time comparatively because the aperture is also low compared to my OnePlus 8 Pro's Nightscape, but still the pictures turn out really great. And I don't think even today, if you are okay with a single lens system, the Pixel will really make you feel that you are missing out on something apart from video. And I feel these are the things which made Pixel phones last longer and it appealing to a lot of people, and especially in the tech community. So yeah, overall that's been it. Smartphones have come a long way, flagships have improved leaps and beyond, but there is still something that the Pixel had an eye on, and I feel that it did not appeal to the masses. It did get the enthusiasts very excited. I mean, if you tell me to use this phone, I would definitely not want to, because obviously the battery has aged a lot, the processor is pretty old, the screen to body ratio and the screen responsiveness is not that much. If you tell me to shoot a picture with this Pixel XL, I would be happy to shoot a picture with it and not really miss my OnePlus 8 Pro. Maybe the versatility of the other lenses, but in terms of sheer photo quality which comes out directly from this, I'm very happy about it. One more thing is the sustained software updates. Unfortunately, the software update for this particular phone stopped back in Android 10. A lot of phones even today are releasing with Android 10 in 2021, unfortunately, which was not the case with the Pixel XL. And that is why I feel that this is a lineup that should always be remembered and is important, at least for pushing other phones ahead and making other improvements, while we get a lot of software magic from Google in form of other skins, in form of Google Assistant, in form of the camera or the Gcam ports you get today. So I feel that this phone is pretty important. So I hope you like this kind of video. It was a different type, revisiting a phone from back in the day. If you like such type of video, please be sure to drop a like. Also, I hope you like my A-roll setup. I feel my desk setup is finally complete. I have adjusted a lot of lights around to make it look appealing. So if you want a studio tour or a table setup tour, let me know and comment down below. So with that, this is Shreyas and thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one.